Now you got volume, right? Okay, if anybody's watching, you can just log into the chat room and ask questions or bitch or do whatever you want. Any assholes will be barred. We'll show you how this politician works. We'll just block you. We don't like you. Got to turn this volume down a little bit though. Mic check. So anyway, got a whole bunch of politicians scared to death up there at the Capitol. They're worried about whether or not they're going to be unemployed. Problem is, the motherfuckers still get money if they're unemployed or not. So we got to change that shit too. Oh, this is going to be hard to read. That's a funky colored chat room. There we go. Hey, Kathy. Where are you from? Hey, Josh, cut that volume down a little bit more so we don't get such a feedback. Good to see you, Kathy. I don't know if you're from Oklahoma or not, but we spent 2 days up there with the teachers. And it really, isn't all about just money. They'd like some respect in the classroom from the students and some of the parents. Because if you discipline a kid, mama comes in there and raises hell and threatens to sue you and whoop your ass and everything else. I don't know how many of you watched the video the other day. They raised diesel tax and gas tax in order to cut $50 million to solve these teachers' problem. And they taxed the very own school system that ain't got no money now to the tune of almost $1.2 million, $1,000. And then you got one in Oklahoma County that's taking care of 46,000 students, making $250,000. So if our politicians would just move and redirect and spend money wisely, I'll bet you we could have solved this problem without raising taxes 1 cent. But unfortunately, until we win this election or we get some people up there that give a shit about really budgeting money and putting money to use, it ain't never going to get fixed. We got the health department lost $100 million. And nobody's answering to it. Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's in trouble. It's like no big deal. And we could have fixed the entire system with the $100 million. And the teachers wouldn't have had to walk out of school. So, a lot of people are like, are you seriously behind this teacher walkout? Because as a libertarian, you're supposed to be against raising taxes. Well, I'm supporting this teacher walkout, not to raise taxes to solve this problem, but to pull the heads out of their asses up there at the Capitol and make people start being responsible for spending what tax money they're collecting. And it could all be solved so simply if we just had somebody up there that would grab the bull by the horns and make these bastards answer to some of this. So anyway, any of you from Oklahoma watching, log into the chat room and voice your opinion or ask a question. And let's, I'm running my campaign on the voice of the people, not my voice. I mean, I've got my own ideas, but I'm not closed-minded enough to know that you, the public, might come up with a better solution for me to voice and try and enact than the solution I have. And that's what makes me different than any other candidate running right now, is they all have their hard, etched in stone 10 commandments of how the hell they're going to run this state, whether you like it or not. And we've got to get the people of Oklahoma involved in making decisions, since it's your life that they are controlling here. So anyway, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. But you know, 30,000 teachers up there have got these politicians worried. And yes, State Question 788 is a very, very important vote this June, on the 26th of June. We need to pass that for several reasons, okay? One is, I think it would help get people off of Loratab and oxycodone and stuff like that. Not to mention that it cures so many other diseases and everything. But the part that I didn't agree with the way State Question 788 was written is because underneath where it says that they're going to charge 7% sales tax, they're giving themselves an out right there to collect 7% sales tax, and all of that goes to administrative costs, which you and I both know that them fuckers up there at the Capitol and the people in the health department, see, right now they got it written to where the health department will be in charge of this. They've already lost $100 million, so why the hell are we going to trust them with 7% sales tax on legalized marijuana? I think the ABLE Commission, since they're already running the alcohol, and they pretty much got this permit and inspection and licensing down, why didn't we give it to the ABLE Commission instead of an agency that's lost $100 million? But anyway, I would like to see, you know, once we pass 788, then we can work on just passing it all together. Recreational, the thieves that are up there in the Capitol out of the little piggy bank that they call a slush fund every time we come up with a way to raise money. We got $1.1 billion of casino money that's supposed to go to help education, all right? And here's how they get around that is they give that to education, okay, and then they waste their money somewhere else, and then they cut that very same money that they gave to education and take it right back. So basically, Scott Pruitt did last time it was on the ballot. Yeah, I don't know, it's like the whole damn roof is covered in ice today. I don't know what happened to Oklahoma. It was nice yesterday, and it snowed all morning until about 11 o'clock here, and everything's covered in ice. So our internet going to the Arbuckle Mountains is a little slow. It'll buffer every now and then. But anyway, that is, you know, that's it. I met superintendents, I met teachers, I met students, little kids out there protesting. But you know what I got to say about Oklahoma and the message that we send when we do something like that is there was probably at least 20,000 people there each day I was there. And not one of them foul mouth, not one of them causing trouble. They were there, they were enjoying themselves, they were getting a message across and not destroying anything. And you put a protest in another big city in America, and what are they doing? They're breaking windows, they're looting, they're burning shit, they're causing trouble. You got to call in the police, the National Guard, and everything else. And these groups of people that put on this teacher walkout protest up there, hats off, man. Y'all pulled off a very classy protest. Very classy, I gotta say. And you know they're worried, or Mary Fallon wouldn't have left town. She hightailed it and run. Then she put a post on her Twitter that she spoke to 5,000, or her staff spoke to 5,000 people. Yeah, her staff did. She pawned it off on her staff because she didn't want to catch all the scrutiny herself. So she made her staff do it. All right. So let's just take and say we could cut every politician's paycheck by $5,000 a year and give that to the teachers in the school system. And then we could hold accountable the health department and the department heads that are in charge of that money and hold them accountable criminally and make them pay back that money that they've lost. And then we could cut the Department of Ag a little bit because they have 456 employees that don't do a damn thing. And they got way too much money in their budget. There is so many ways that we could fund our education back without raising one tax dollar. Actually, we could probably lower some tax rates if we just had people up there that cared about where they spend your money. But instead, what do, they turn around and they keep raising the taxes because it's not exactly them that suffer. It's the 3.5 million people in the state of Oklahoma that they're counting on making pay this bill until next year when they're again and they got another problem and how to pay the bill. So yeah, we got some serious issues going on in this state. But anyway, you're more than welcome to log into the chat room and ask some questions or voice your opinion. Tell me. I want to hear what you think of this teacher strike. Are they right? Are they wrong? Could it have been done different? Is it the politicians' fault? Is it, I'm in this election to be the voice of you, the people. So if you got something to say and you're just too scared to get on Facebook or the internet and voice your opinion, right now is the time. Because if I agree with you, I'll get out there. I'll take the bullet for you. Because this is the year of the people. And this is the year that the people have a voice, whether it's through you or whether it's through me. Hell, I've already been censored, so who gives a shit? They took my liberty rights of freedom of speech and freedom of expression away from me a couple weeks ago. But that ain't stopping me from running. If you notice, I put on Facebook today, we got the cashier's check and we filled out the form and we're going to drive that sucker up there next week and hand deliver it. And you bet Joe Exotic is going to be on the ballot. So anyway, this is our first little trial thing here to make sure that we got the TV studio and everything up right and running. But we're going to start doing some online town halls to where you, the people, can get on here. Anybody around the world can see, you bitch, anybody around the world can see what you agree with or what you disagree with. And this is for you people. This isn't for me. Gallons of fruit could have been fixed this last time. Oh, hey, you know, we elected a president and a bunch of Republicans and Democrats into our House and our Senate here. You see what kind of job they're doing. And whether you vote for me or you vote for somebody else, all we got to do is vote them out. And that's what I'd recommend over anything this November. All right? Quit voting for ones that are in there. They're the ones who started this, and they're the ones who caused this problem. So throw the new guy on the ballot a vote this time. Hell, can they do any worse? I don't think so. You know, vote as libertarian as you can come November, because, you know, whether or not you agree with everything that they stand for, because some things are kind of out there, you know, but at least they're against large government. They're against taxation. They call taxation theft, which basically it is. Once you pay for something, it should be yours. You shouldn't have to rent it from the government for the rest of your fucking life. But if you're sick of politicians putting the screws to you, anybody's name on that ballot that you recognize that's up at that house right now, don't check mark their box. Check mark a new person. And let's get some people in there, because, yep, Kathy, you're exactly right. It's time for a change. And even though we got very few people in the chat room, people are scared of politics, and people are scared of being known to voice your opinion anymore, for fear of the retaliation or anything else. But even though we got very few in the chat room, on the website itself, joeexotictv.com, and keep in mind this is worldwide, okay? This is not just Oklahoma. This is worldwide. There is a little over 49,000 people watching worldwide. And I don't know why we attract so many people from the Far East, but we got a hell of a crowd from the Far East. Anyway, so, you know, that's it. That was kind of a trial thing for us today to see how this thing is going to operate and how we're going to up and run. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end it for today, okay? And we're going to come back and do this at least every other day or a couple times a week. But we would like to hear your voice and your opinion on not list of politicians, and see if we can't get some new people in there that can make a difference this time. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, remember, come June the 26th, you've got to be registered as a Libertarian to vote on the ballot for the primaries, okay? So if you have not registered ever in your life in the state of Oklahoma, private message me a thing on Facebook, and we will get you a packet mailed out to you so you can get registered. They closed the poll thing to where March 31st was the deadline for you to register as a different party. You could only switch parties until March the 31st. But from now on, if you have never registered to vote, we need to get you registered, because we got to win this primary. We got to win the general elections if we're ever going to make a change. All right, so until then, hats off to everybody out there that would like Oklahoma to benefit for a change. And teachers, I'm 100% behind you. I'm not behind this tax bill they passed, but we'll figure that out. All right, until then, have a great day.